Lesbian detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I had to say that our weekend was amazing. We went to the basketball game, Wings against Seattle. My wife got to see her girl play. She did not get her autograph, which we tried to in the court, but my wife couldn't get to the other side in time. And then we waited outside. And
let's just say lessons were learned and you got to buy certain tickets to get an autograph. So I don't think they're coming to any more Dallas games, but definitely next year, I'm getting those seats no matter what.
Right. I told her if only one of us got to go, one of us got to go.
Gabby Williams, I'm looking for you.
Right. Not like that.
Or no, for an autograph. Nothing stocky.
We went to the crystal shop, got us some bracelet, got to keep the mojo going. And guys, somebody inboxed me and we hear you talk about your favorite criminal shows all the time. Please do your favorite episodes. And I just released one today on TikTok. I could not put it on all our social medias like Instagram, YouTube, because the video is 6 minutes long and Instagram would not allow you to post that long. But guys, it was my favorite episode of hands down. So go check out our TikTok, Lesbian Detectives. You will enjoy. I'm just start posting my favorites. It was fun talking about my favorites. Even the comments, people was coming. I was like, y'all, this is a good episode. Trust me. It was fun, guys. It was fun. I enjoyed it big time.
You tell me those stories all the time. I personally do not watch the show, but it's nice to know that there's other like-minded people that will enjoy.
Yeah. I tell her, guys, she be like, okay. She don't listen. But if I tell her about a basketball game, she be like, oh, that's what's up.
Especially if Gabby Williams played in it.
And my links are back. We're back, baby. We lost the last 2 games against New York. And let's talk about New York. How did they lose against the Chicago Sky? And then Atlanta Dream, do better. Now they all the way down.
Well, what's her name? Sabrina wasn't playing, right?
The Lynx, our top player was out and we were still winning and we just lost 2 games.
And she just came back.
And we winning that one. I had to record, guys. I couldn't finish watching it. And it's not on our on a link we use. So
the WNBA app, it's on CBS Sports, but it'll air after it's over.
Yeah. But you know what? Let's stop bantering right now and let's get into the most important part.
I'm just going to say that the women in the WNBA need to get paid more. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Speak the truth for the people that need their money. Well, let's get into the episode. The night seemed ordinary. A young woman finished dinner with a friend, excused herself politely, and walked across a glowing parking lot towards her car. She had plans for the weekend, a home waiting for her, and a husband out of town who will return the next day. Nothing about that even hint a tragedy. By morning, the world had shifted. She never arrived home. She never showed up for work. What remains instead was her car, strangely returned, sitting cold and still in the same lot she had last been seen. Inside was groceries she had brought that night before, and scattered among them, unsettling trace of something violent and something deliberate. In the days that followed, the search spread across the cities and state. Witnesses swore they saw her alive, traveling under another control, leaving behind nothing but a trembling signature on a scatter of papers. Yet she was never brought back. Was it a random predator who skulked in the dark, a shadow from her past, or something larger, a secret hidden just beyond the surface of her carefully ordered life? More than a half century later, the questions remain. A young woman walked into the night and was never seen again. This is the case of Mary Shotwell Little. It was a Thursday, October the 14th, 1965, and the city of Atlanta was alive with its usual weekday rhythm. The air was crisp. The leaves began to blush with autumn, and Lenox Square Mall stood brightly lit across the dust. Mary Shotwell Little, just 25 years old, began her day like any other. Petite, soft-spoken, and known for her reliability. She had worked for 3 years as a secretary at the Citizen and Southern National Bank on Mitchell Street. At home, her life had only recently begun a new chapter. 6 weeks early, she had married Roy Little Jr., a bank examiner, whose job often took him out of town. The newlyweds shared an apartment in Decatur, Georgia. Married friends said that they were adjusting happily to the rhythm of married life. That evening, after leaving work, Mary stopped to shop and then met a co-worker for dinner at the Lenox Square. The two lingered, chatting about little things, work, family, plans for the weekend. Mary mentioned she had company visiting soon, and with a half smile admitted she really should get home to clean the apartment. At 8 p.m., she rose, smoothing her skirt, and simply said, "Well, I see you in the morning." Those were the last words her friends ever heard her say. The following morning, the atmosphere at the bank shifted. Mary, usually on time till a fault, had not come in. She had not called. Her boss and co-workers grew uneasy. They worried intensifying with each passing hours. When calls to her apartment went unanswered, her landlord was asked to check. The newspaper and mail still lay on her doorstep, untouched since the day before. No groceries had been brought inside. Something was wrong. By noon, her boss took a photograph of Mary to the police. Then he drove to the Lenox Square, desperate to retrace her steps. That was when her car was discovered. The pale 1965 Mercury Comet sat quietly in the parking lot. Security guards swore it hadn't been there during the overnight patrol. Now, hours later, its engine was cold, as though it had been left there deliberately. Returned, but without its driver. The inside was uneasy. Her groceries were stacked neatly in the back seat, waiting for a home they would never reach. Blood smeared across the front seat and doors, on the driver handle, across the passenger window. Not a large amount, but enough to signal violence. Grass clipping clutched to the stains. And then the most disturbing discovery. Mary undergarment, neatly rolled between the seats, speckled with blood. A bra and sliced nylon stockings lay on the floorboard. Her purse, shoes, coat, and keys were missing. The scene felt both staged and sinister, as though whoever had taken Mary wanted to leave behind a message, a puzzle no one could solve. Atlanta mobilized. Detectives swarmed Lenox Square, interviewing shoppers and clerks. Military reserves searched the nearby woods. Private pilots scanned the courtside. Radio station urged residents to comb their properties for anything: a purse, a shoe, a scrap of clothing. Inmates joined the search. Reward money was offered, but the hunt was fruitless. The more people searched, the colder the trail grew, and the investigators uncovered something that deepened the mystery. Roy Little, meticulous by habit, kept a mileage log of the car. When the detective checked the number, they found 40 miles unaccounted for. And then came the revelation that will haunt the case forever. Mary gasoline credit card had been used hours after she disappeared. Not in Georgia, but in North Carolina.
The first use was in Charlotte, Mary's hometown. The attendant remembered the car, a man at a wheel, a woman in the passenger seat, curled up with her face hidden behind a road map. Her clothing bore bloodstains. She signed the credit slip, her hand trembling, but steady enough. Mrs. Roy H. Little, Jr. Hours later, the card was used again, this time in Raleigh. The attendant there recalled two men in the car. The woman sat upright, a towel wrapped around her head. He glimpsed at her face, though not clearly enough to swear it was Mary. Again, she signed the slip. Again, the handwriting matched. If it was Mary, she was alive. Hours after leaving Lenox Square, driving across state lines, forced into silence, leaving behind only the name in ink. But then, nothing. No more sightings, no more transactions, only silence. And yet, her car was somehow returned to Atlanta. Why? Why leave it behind, cold and waiting in the lot where she had last been seen? Investigators dug into Mary's life. Friends recalled she had seemed anxious in the days before her disappearance. She hinted she had something important to tell them, though she never said what. She seemed reluctant to be home alone, nervous about driving. And there were roses. A bouquet arrived days before she vanished, with no card. Her husband hadn't sent them. The sender was never identified. Then there was phone calls at work. Once, a coworker overheard Mary said softly, "You know I can't come over there. Roy's out of town. I don't hold anything against you. You can come over to my house anytime, but I can't come over there." Who was she speaking to? An old boyfriend? A secret admirer? The sender of the roses? Or someone far more dangerous? The investigation pulled back the curtain on unsettling rumors at the Citizens and Southern National Bank. There were whispers of prostitution among employees, of harassment, even of an FBI investigation that had quietly taken place. Mary's boss dismissed it as nothing, but Mary's mother claimed her daughter knew more than she let on. Could knowledge of secrets at the bank have made her a target? The shadows lengthened further when another young woman stepped into Mary's role. 19 months later, in May 1967, tragedy struck again. Diane Marine Shields, just 20 years old, had taken over Mary's position at the bank. Like Mary, she was engaged to be married. Like Mary, she had received roses from an unknown sender. And like Mary, she seemed to carry a secret. On the night of May 19, Diane left for work and never came home. Hours later, her car was found abandoned near a laundromat. Blood dripped from the trunk. Inside, Diane's body lay crammed upside down, strangled, her throat stuffed with paper and a scarf. She had not been robbed, and there were whispers. Diane had told friends she was helping police uncover investigating the disappearance of a woman named Mary. Detective C.J. Strickland believed the two cases were connected. Two women, same bank, same roses, same fate. As the years passed, Mary's case grew colder, yet fragments of testimony haunted it. A woman reporting being followed in the Lenox parking lot the night Mary disappeared. A thin man with a brown crew cut tried to open the car door, insisting her tire was low. She escaped. Mary did not. Over time, the case file itself vanished, lost or stolen, as if swallowed by the same darkness that had claimed Mary. More than 50 years have passed since the autumn night. Mary's body has never been found. Her name lingers like an echo in Atlanta's history, a young woman who vanished from a parking lot, whose car came back without her, whose story spawned rumors, theories, and silence. Some believe she was abducted by a stranger, others that she was silenced for what she knew about the bank. Still, others whisper of old lovers, jealousies, or darker conspiracies. But no one can say with certainty. Lenox Square still bustles today, full of shoppers and laughter. But for those who remember, the glow of its light casts a shadow, a reminder of the night Mary Shotwell Little walked across the parking lot and disappeared into a mystery that has never been solved. Before we end this case, let's sit back and remember the young woman that went missing, Mary Little. More than 5 decades have passed, and still there is no resolution. Theories swirl, some pointing to strangers in the night, others to secrets hidden beneath the surface of her life, and still others suggesting connections that may never be proven. The paper trail has faded, the witnesses are gone, and the case file itself has disappeared. Yet the story refuses to let go of the city because it was never just about a mystery. It was about a woman whose life was stolen away in a single night. Mary Shotwell Little was 25 years old, newly married, full of hope. She was planning for an ordinary weekend of cleaning the apartment, welcoming guests, and settling into her role as a wife. She never got the chance. Instead, her name became tied forever to one of Atlanta's most enduring mysteries. Her face frozen in time in a single photograph, her life remembered only in fragments. To some, Mary is a case file. To others, she is a cautionary tale. But to those who knew her, and to anyone who listens closely, she is something more. She was a daughter, a friend, a co-worker who made others laugh, a woman whose presence mattered. And that is why we keep telling her story. Because Mary's absence is not just about unanswered questions. It is about love and loss, about a family who never saw her come home, about a city that still wonders what happened when the lights went out and she stepped into the night. Perhaps one day the truth will surface, perhaps the silence will break. Until then, we speak her name, Mary Shotwell Little, and we remember her not only for the mystery that surrounds her, but for the life that should have been. This is the case of Mary Shotwell Little. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
Let me take this. Tag me in, coach. Tag me in. This case right here, let me tell you something. I can figure it out in 5 minutes. Like, let the police call me in. Because the bank is over here doing some shady stuff. Like,
Yes.
that girl was in Mary Road and she went missing, then unalive. You telling me we didn't really look into that case? Like, you really need to look into that case. And I feel like the bank, they probably was selling girls. Let's just be honest. They probably was selling girls. And I know, not for sure, but I know they was only probably give them to like the big exec, like the ones with the money. Ain't no broke man at the bank can afford them girls at the bank. Let's just be honest. I think it was somebody with a lot of money and a lot of power. I think Mary was kind of like in that ring. She was getting trafficked to some of the big players. And I think that one of the guys got attached. He wanted Mary. Like that phone call, somebody heard her say, at first I thought it was a friend. Like, oh, like I can't come over. Roy's out of town. You should come over. I'm like, if I'm cheating on my spouse, I'm not letting my side piece go to my house. I'm going
Right.
to there. But then I remember Roy was checking her mileage. He knew like where she was at, how far it take her to go to work, to home, to the grocery store. So she couldn't go to this person's house because he could be like, hey, why 10 miles not accounted for? Well, I feel like it's two things. Roy was controlling, or he knew she probably was cheating on him
Yeah.
because he was checking the mileage. I'm not checking the mileage. Only time you check a mileage if you know your person is cheating on you. That's the only time you check it. And she knows he's checking it. So she's like, oh, come over here. He's out of town because Roy was going out of town a lot. I don't know for sure if Roy was knowing that this bank was doing this stuff because he was a bank examiner. He had to know it was some talk in town about this situation going on at the bank that his wife worked at. Like, come on now, Roy, you ain't all innocent. Like, you had to know something was going on. But I think it was somebody with some power, fell in love with Mary, wanted to be with Mary, but Mary like, no, I really love my husband. This is just like some side gig, some money situation. That's it. And he probably got jealous and saw Mary and was like, no, you're going to be with me. I don't know all about the gas situation. That's confusing to me. Haven't figured out that part yet. Or, I mean, they could be driving around and he could be trying like to convince her to leave the husband and to stay with him. And then she didn't. Then he rape and unalive her. I mean, it could be something, but that's how far I got in my theories, guys. That's how far. I might can change it when my wife talk.
So the person over the bank kind of had heard some allegations and that person shut it down. So that kind of tells me that, yeah, there was some shady stuff going on that they did not want investigated. I don't know if she was being trafficked. It could be. It's just a little hard for me to wrap that around my theories because if she was, it was the second girl that replaced her being trafficked as well. Like, how did she figure out all of this knowledge?
To me, it seemed like the police planted her there because you remember she told her friends like, yeah, I'm investigating something happened to this girl named Mary. So to me, it felt like the police plant her in there to get information. Like sometimes when the police go undercover, they have to do things that they would not do in their normal life. What if this girl was really a police officer or a CI that she was helping the police out?
But she wouldn't have died, I feel. Or if she was undercover, like, it
They-
would have been out there.
I mean, well, not really out there if the police want to keep this hush hush. They don't want information out,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I watch a lot of Criminal Minds and TV shows. They see eyes and people who go undercover, they do get killed if the people figure out who they are. So we don't know.
Yeah.
But then you also remember the flowers. The flowers, like Mary got sent the same flowers from somebody with no information. So that's another thing. Like, what if she was inside the ring? Don't know. You don't know.
Right.
I feel like this case could be solved if the police look into powerful people in the Atlanta area and also people that go to that bank. That's another thing.
I don't understand why they would take her alive to two different places.
Yeah.
I can understand that they would unalive her, take her wherever they're going to bury her, and then bring her car back. Like, I kind of understand that, but why would they make her, like, sign, the receipts? Why would they use her card? Like, and then just bring her car back like nothing happened. But the car has blood stains and all this evidence, that she was murdered or that she was unalived.
Well, this could be another theory because I always get stuck at that part too. What if Mary was going to like tell everybody what's going on in that bank. She was tired. She's like, I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. She was going to go to the police. What if she told one of her coworkers this information and they part of this trafficking too? And they went to the boss. It's like, hey, this is going to happen. What if the boss actually hired some people to unalive her? But sometimes when you hire people, they don't do the job excellent. You know, they do their own thing. So what if he hired some guys that he knew, like, hey, I need you to unalive this woman. And they did, like, you know, they try to mess around. Like, hey, we're going to SA her and unalive her. Let's have some fun. Never know how people think.
Yeah,
You stuck?
I don't know. I am stuck. I just don't understand why she would get married if she was doing other stuff behind the scenes. And a lot of the times when you play with fire, you're going to get burned. It's just a matter of time. Like, everything comes to light one way or another. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely linked to the bank. But that's as far as I can get.
She's stuck, guys. I really thought about this case. I don't know, like, it's been on my mind heavy. So I think that's why I'm clear in thought than my wife. But that's okay. She's going to be stuck on this for a couple of days. And then she's like, wait a minute. I think something. Like, that's how she is.
Phone records, I know they couldn't really check them back in the day. But clearly she was talking to somebody. And then when they heard about the brown crew cut man, like, they should start looking into that too. Like, they had some hints. It's just, I don't know, they didn't do enough to, like, go through with it. I know too, like, DNA evidence wasn't, it's just, there's not enough evidence to point out to who did this. Nowadays, like, yeah, we have the technology, we could check all of that, but back in the day, like, it was hard.
I'm thinking of the bank owner. The person, like, I don't know. It's just something about him.
Yeah, he shut it down.
But what if he had this big trafficking ring, you don't think that he got somebody in the police force on the table, like, paying them? I mean, it's another thing we have to think about. That's why, because it seemed like they had so much evidence, but the evidence wasn't getting them to the person. So it seemed like if somebody's, like, getting paid on the table, they making sure that things are not going to be found. They kind of hiding things.
Right, it's organized crime.
I mean, that's another thought. But guys, we are kind of all over the place. So let us know your theories, please. I would love to hear your theories. My wife and I are stuck. So let us know what you think about this episode. Let us know what you think happened to Mary Little. We are on all podcast platforms. So please tell your friends about us and tell their friends about us and tell everybody about us. We are on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating. Please like, comment, subscribe. Send me your case suggestions. I love doing case suggestions. It doesn't matter if it's cold, solved, unsolved. Send it to me and we will do it. This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective, lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.